Okay, welcome to my live stream. Today I'm doing a sketch along. I've got a reference picture here. I'll just get that up. Just one moment. I better put my iPad pin on camera. Not that I don't like the chances of someone watching this actually coming to my house and stealing my iPad aren't that. You could. I'll just put that there. Okay, this is the reference. If you want to join along and sketch along with me, there's links to the reference pictures in the description for this video. It will take you to my the pictures on Google Drive. Hopefully that link works.
It does.
It does. Okay. And this is my first ever live stream, so if anything messes up, or well, I'm assuming things are going to mess up. You also might hear we've got the two dogs, Luna and Hamish, in the background. They might decide to get a bit feisty. There's also a very good chance that this picture is going to end up looking terrible because I'm doing it on camera. It always seems to be the way. So yeah, I've got the reference here. It's a bit hard to see, but yeah, I think the best thing is to go and grab the reference picture from those links. And let's get started. I've got the two references. One's from the side and one's straight on. I thought the side one's good. It gives the whole building. You can see the building right up to the top and the surrounds. And the other one is more of a close-up. I feel like when people are doing shop fronts, a lot of people just put the actual shop in the shop front. I kind of like to do a bit of the surroundings. I feel like, you know, nothing, like you don't have these shops that are just sitting there in isolation, do you? But then there's also the other side of things where you also don't want like too much detail. So yeah, I'll leave the choice up to you. It's a cute little ramen shop. I actually took this photo when I was in Japan recently. I was in Shinjuku and saw this shop and I just thought it was so cute. And I wanted to sketch it on while I was there, like do a live sketch. Excuse me. But it had been raining and there was nowhere to sit that wasn't wet. Like one of the things I've really found difficult sketching in Japan is that there's not a lot of places to sit on the street. I'm used to, like in Melbourne where I live, and also other places I've travelled, you know, you can find in a lot of places there's street seating, like benches or things like that, but you don't really get a lot of that in Tokyo. It's more you know, you need to find like a convenient cafe or something. And sometimes they have, I don't know what you call them, the little flower beds that are on the sides of buildings that are sort of joined onto the building, and I've got a bit of, you can sort of see it here, this bit of greenery here, and yeah, there was like a bit of, what do you call it, like a little edge on the garden, but because it'd been raining, it was all soaking wet, and yeah, I thought I'm not going to risk sitting there. I'm just starting off doing the preliminary drawing, which is really hard to see on camera, and getting in the basic shapes before I start painting. I'm gonna ignore the people in the photos. I don't know about other people, like what you do, but it's quite interesting actually. Do you draw in people or ignore them? Definitely need some yellow for this. I kind of wish I'd gone in and got some ramen from this place. It was quite busy. It doesn't look it in this picture, but while I was sitting there just taking photos and things, I noticed a lot of people coming in and out of the shop. So I just need to set my paints up. Yeah, lots of yellow. It's actually not as yellow as you think. Like when you have a good look at the photo, it's got a lot of beige in it. Not really sure how to make beige. I might just do a really pale yellow for that. So yeah, what I'm using for the sketch today is the Turner acrylic gouache. Some really cool colours in this. I bought this tiny little set when I was in Japan because I thought I'd be going out doing some painting in public, well, on location, not in public, not like a performance piece, but doing some sketching on location, painting on location. But I really don't seem to do that a lot. I have like the idea of doing it, but painting I find really hard to do. Like drawing with pencils and everything's fine, but painting, it's a bit too much. I don't like setting up. I don't like being set up in a public place with all my paints and having to take water and having to, yeah, find somewhere to have water, carry a water bottle around with me. That's the water. I hate having to deal with the water, I think. I'll put a bit of black in there too so I can get those greys. Tiny little black. I always have a panic when I'm using acrylic gouache that I'm going to put too much colour in my palette. And it's not a huge deal. I mean, you know, you waste a little bit of paint. But I don't like doing it. I don't like, yeah, putting too much paint in and it's like, ew, I've got to throw out like 50 cents of acrylic gouache because I didn't use it. Which, to be honest, oh, that's a bit big, that line. To be honest, I would probably just use it to prep some more pages in my sketchbook and that kind of thing, but still I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. Yeah, I still don't like wasting it. Well, I did the preliminary outline for this in watercolour pencil and I feel like that could have been a mistake. A big mistake. It's all going to end up looking very green. And I don't know if anyone's even watching this, but I'm assuming that otherwise, like, you know, I'm going to put up the replay as soon as that processes. It takes about a day to process on YouTube, I think. So I'll put up the replay and hopefully people watch it then. It's a bit hard being in Australia sometimes, being on a completely different time zone to the rest of the world. Oh, I might have to do a second coat over that because it is going very green. And I'm just talking to my sister. I've got, yeah, my sister Spooky Ann is sketching along with me at home and looking after the dogs. The dogs are being really quiet. If you hear weird noises, it's our dogs. They're being quite good at the moment. I'm really surprised. I know I shouldn't speak too soon. But yeah, if you hear weird things going on in the background, it's them. Or our neighbours. Our neighbour has a baby. It's kind of weird. We didn't realise that she was pregnant, and then all of a sudden there was a baby next door, and we thought she was babysitting or something, but no, apparently it's hers, well, theirs. And yeah, this is the second time we've had a neighbour that's been pregnant, and we haven't realised. I guess it just shows how much time we spend with our neighbours, how much notice we take of them. They're not even like, you know, neighbours that live down the street. They live in the same, like, what do you call it, like, address, same, like, we're in, like, there's 4 townhouses on our block, and they live in the other townhouses. So I mean, the first one was during lockdown, and I only really saw her in her car, so I guess, you know, you don't really notice someone. Yeah, we noticed the dog more. The dog, he would take the dogs out for walks, and sometimes I'd see him, we'd say hello, but yeah, she just would be driving past on her way to work. I think she was a nurse, so she was working during all of lockdown. And yeah, now the neighbours on the other side they moved out. They aren't living here with their baby, but the neighbours on the other side have, yeah, suddenly got a baby. It was a bit of a shock, really. Hey, I forgot to put red in my palette. I'm gonna need that. And maybe I'll do the red bits in pencil. Yeah, okay, that's what I'll do. So, got the main bits of it in there. I have to let you know that I do paint and draw very fast, so if you're drawing along with me, just go at your own pace. It's all good. So yeah, it's almost Christmas. Isn't that scary? Less than 2 weeks. It's like, normally every year in our family, well, for the last maybe 5 years or something, we've done Secret Santa. Because we're all grown up, there's no kids in the family or anything. It's so much easier just to do the Secret Santa and buy one gift. But this year we decided we'd go back to the traditional, everyone buys a gift for everyone. And then, my sister and my son both got in touch because we've been doing the Secret Santa through a website, and then with the change they were like, how are we going to know if someone else has bought the gift? And it's like, can't you just talk to people? Or, you know, we ended up doing it on the same site, but just not doing the Secret Santa, only just using it to put up wish lists. And you can mark off on the site if you purchased the present for someone, something that's on the wish list. But yeah, maybe they didn't realise that or something. Anyway, if you're watching along, leave a comment and tell me what you're wishing for Christmas, because I still haven't finished making my wish list. I find it hard with Christmas when someone says, what do you want? Because I tend to, if I want something, just go and buy it when I see it. I don't, I guess that's a pretty privileged thing to say, but, you know, I don't have a lot of living expenses or anything, so yeah, just buy what I want when I see it. Not that I ever really want anything like, you know, hugely expensive. I'm not going out buying, like, I don't know, I can't even think of an expensive thing that people buy, like designer handbags or anything like that. Car, like whatever. Yes, Cerulean oil pastels. They are so expensive. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I can't actually grab it, I'll put them away. But yeah, you can buy these Cerulean oil pastels. They're like $5 a pastel. And sometimes I see people doing art on on YouTube or something, and they just got this full set, and I'm like, that's like $800 worth of pastels. So yeah, I don't go out buying stuff like that for myself. Though when I was in Tokyo and looking in the art shops, they had the Sennelier pastels for, I think it was around $2, $2.50. And I was like, oh, I could buy a set of these, that's actually affordable. But then I was looking at them, I thought, I don't love using them. They're incredibly soft. If you haven't used them, they're incredibly soft. It's like lipstick soft. That's what people compare them to. It's like, you know, if you got a tube of lipstick out and started drawing with it. That's another thing I don't spend money on makeup, because, you know, we've been in lockdown for so many years. And you just get out of the habit of wearing makeup. Well, I don't have to go to an office job or anything, and yeah, I think half my makeup I own is just probably out of date now. But I did go and splurge on my nails. Hey, I didn't realise you could see my face. Yeah, I went and splurged on my nails when I was in Tokyo. There's a nail salon I've been to a few times over the years, and they are just amazing. Like, you take in anything you want on your nails and they can paint it. And I just don't understand how they do it. Like, how hard would it be painting like such tiny little designs? If I did that myself, it would just be a black and white mess, really. But yeah, I got this. I'm not actually a huge fan of The Nightmare Before Christmas, but I just really like the aesthetic of it. Like the black and white stripes and skeleton, and these are amazing, the spirals. So I'm really worried that, you know, I'm gonna have someone come up to me who's a really huge fan and start talking about it, and I'm gonna be like, I've only actually seen the movie once. Kind of like, you know, when people wear band t-shirts and you go up and say, hey, you're a fan of this band as well, and they're like, they know nothing at all about the band you're talking about. They just like the t-shirt, and so it's kind of awkward all around when that happens. So yeah, I really hope no one asks me about it. But yeah, love the nails. I've got a video coming up soon that's going to have a little bit of me going to the nail salon. It was really hard to film because, yeah, you've got one hand that she's working on and one hand in the, you know, that UV thing you put your hand in. So I was trying to have my camera set up, but I couldn't really have it too much of, like, there wasn't anywhere really to put it that was a good spot, and it kept falling down, and it was sort of a little bit awkward. I guess I could have taken a tripod, set up a whole tripod, but I feel like an idiot doing that in a nail salon. I mean, you know, you see people filming for YouTube and I've got the whole setup and everything, but I mean, maybe one day, maybe with time you get a bit less awkward about doing it. I feel awkward even going into a coffee shop and I'm filming and I'm thinking, oh, the staff are probably wondering what the hell I'm doing. Sometimes I ask, sometimes I say, like, yeah, I want to film this. Oh, nearly put my paintbrush on my drink. Yeah, so I sort of say, oh, can I film? And they're like, yeah, sure, you and everyone else. I mean, I guess it's a little bit, like, flattering, maybe. It's like saying that you think that their coffee shop or their little cafe or whatever is, like, it's aesthetic and nice. Oops. Drop the brush. So yeah, and I mean, there are some places, if they don't want you filming, they'll have a sign up saying don't film here or whatever. I don't understand that. I mean, if I had a business, I'd be wanting people to put it on social media, getting some advertising. But I guess everyone has their own ideas about these things. And, but yeah, most of the places I went in Tokyo, they were, yeah, sure, film. Or maybe they just didn't understand what I was saying because I was trying to speak in Japanese. No, they did understand what I said. That was one of the first things I think we learnt was, is it okay to take photos? I guess it's a pretty valuable thing to know how to say when you're on holidays. I kind of do try to be a bit careful about taking photos, especially of children. Or anywhere where there are children around, you don't want to, I wouldn't want someone taking photos of my child, so I do the same thing for other people. Sometimes there's like a Japanese ceremony where all the children go to the temple or the shrines, could be shrine, yeah. Shrines are the Shinto religion and temples are Buddhist. And yeah, a couple of times I've been to one of the big shrines, Meiji Shrine, and this festival's on, and it's for kids when they're 3, 5 and 7 years old, I think. It's actually called that in Japanese. And the kids are just so cute. Like, they're all dressed up in their kimono and all fancy. And if you go up and ask, they're usually quite happy. The parents are quite happy for you to take photos. I think they're really proud of their kids looking all fancy in their best clothes. And so, yeah, I think if you ask, they're usually like, yeah, sure, and then start arranging their outfit, getting out the hanky and spitting on it to clean the kid's face, all that stuff the parents do. Oh, yeah, now I'm doing this, I'm not sure if the side buildings were a good idea or not. If you're watching along, leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Is it better to just focus, leave the sides and everything around empty, or is it better to put a bit of the surrounding shops in? And I don't want to leave that right there, but I don't want to get it too bright either. Sort of making this up as I go along. And yeah, so what's happening in my world? I've got a residency on this week. It's just a one-day residency. One of the local parks, Victoria Gardens in Melbourne, they put a call out for people to do a residency there. And it's just, go in for a day. There's a greenhouse. You sit in the greenhouse, hang out, work on your art. And I applied for it and then completely forgot I'd applied. And I was in Tokyo and got this message saying I'd been accepted. And I'm like, what? And yeah, I had to work out dates and everything. And I don't know. I find that really hard when someone asks you to give them a date for something, and well, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't know what I'm doing in 5 minutes' time sometimes. So yeah, how do I know what I'm doing in the next month? But got it all organised, and it's on Wednesday. So if anyone's in Melbourne, or knows anyone in Melbourne, That's at the Pavilion at Fitzroy Gardens. And I have no idea what I'll be doing during the residency. I was thinking of doing, like, just doing some on location sketching because it's in the middle of the park. But it's actually in the greenhouse in the middle of the park, so I'm not sure. Like, I'd probably have to go out around the park and take some photos of things anyway. So, I mean, I guess that's still good to do. I'd rather do things that were, like, around the park than sort of something completely random. Though, from what I've seen, a lot of the people doing it have done anime style, you know, that sort of style where you, oh, it's called anime style, yeah. So that's completely, like, different to what the park environment's like. I might leave this dry. I'm very tempted to go and do the brickwork on that building in paint, and I know that it's not going to be the best idea, so I might leave this to dry. And swatch. Yes, swatching. I've got some, well, I'm waiting for that to dry. I bought some crayons the other day, and I might do a video later. I'd like to compare the different types of crayons. Like, I mentioned the Sennelier ones, and then someone said these were a good alternative. They're the, it doesn't actually say the name on the box, but they're Mungyo, Gallery Mungyo. And these were like $10 for the whole box on Amazon. And very hard to get the plastic off. Yes, so grab some scissors. Oh, dear me. It's getting quite hot here in Australia at the moment. People seem really surprised that we're in summer and the rest of the world's in winter. It's kind of like, I don't know. Didn't you learn that in primary school? Like Southern Hemisphere, Northern Hemisphere.
A little one, but okay.
I've got it now. And yeah, so we have the summer Christmas. Well, some winter Christmases, but the idea of winter Christmas is a bit odd, like, at least when we have Christmas here, when you're a kid, you get a new bike or something, you can go out and ride it. It's not like it's snowing. I have no idea what's going on with these pastels. These are the hardest thing to open I have ever. I think I'm cutting, like, the sticky stuff keeps re-sticking. So I'm going to slide this out and it's stuck on this end. Haha! Success. Oh, that's just a little sleeve. Let's over them. And then we've got this. And we've got soft oil pastels. Wow. And there's a booklet that's got all the colours. I'm assuming that's the entire range of colours because it's more than what I've got in here. Oh yes, you can get really large sets. And they're showing all the different things you can do with them. In Chinese. Wow, 120 colours available. I just got the 12 set. I'll put that little bit of foam because I don't want them getting all mucky, so let's swatch these. Oh, they are really soft. I wasn't expecting them to be this soft. I was expecting them to be more like the, you know, crayons, oil crayons that, like a neo color or something, but these are so soft. They're probably not quite as soft as the Sennelier, but for me the Sennelier are too soft. I find it, they're very smudgy, very hard to control because they're so soft. I think if you're the kind of person who's doing a lot of blending and that kind of thing, they're probably, Sennelier are brilliant for that, but I don't really do that. I just like to add a bit of texture and like to lay down a layer of pastels and then paint over it, so you get that, I don't know what it's called, there's a name for it, where you like resist painting. That's not resist painting like, you know, oh, I don't want to paint today, I just want to sit on the couch. But yeah, when you put paint over something waxy. Oh, that pink's weird. I like it. Spooky Aunt just said she thinks it's weird, but I like it. I call it salmon pink. It's actually called salmon. So I don't just call it salmon pink, but the people who make these do. I should actually have said the colour names. This one's white. White. You would never have guessed that. Not in a million years. And yeah, that's salmon. This one is, wow, they're really basic names. Ochre. I kind of like basic names though. I mean, you know, you're like, oh, I want to get up my yellow pastel. Wait, no, it's called moon glow, blah, blah, blah. Or I guess it'd be sun glow. Sunshine, blah, blah, blah. That one's yellow. See, basic. Wait for it. It's going to be orange. Is it going to be orange? Oh, flame red. I'd call that orange. Maybe they have another one that's orange. This one's red. Scarlet. Scarlet. This one is green. Yellow green. To differentiate it from dark green, it's actually called emerald green. Wow, that was the colour of my high school uniform. This and this. The most ugly colour combination you could possibly think of. They just want to torture us. Turquoise. I would not call that turquoise. I'd call that sky blue. But hey, I'm the one making the crayons. These are made in Korea. I thought they were Chinese. I was going to make a BTS joke about my crayons, but I don't actually know enough. Rosette. Sanguine. Sanguine. I guess that's a French word, isn't it? Sanguine. Rosette. Nuisance black. Noir. Now, just to play around with these for a minute, I'm going to maybe put a bit of the white over the top. It does have a bit of flakiness when you're doing this. I guess all pastels are going to do that. Wow, that light covers those. Whoa. Wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to be a bit more of a resist. Resistance is futile. Now we'll get some blue. I guess if you really wanted to get that sort of effect, you could get a bit of paper towel and oh man, I forgot to mention the giveaway. Oh guys, I forgot to mention the giveaway. That's the most important thing of today. So I've got, wait, I'm just going to go off camera for a minute and I'll show you what I've got for one lucky person watching this, which hopefully if no one enters, I get to keep this myself. You're not allowed to enter. Sisters are not allowed to enter competitions.
That did not say anything about that in the rules.
Yeah, it's because there were no rules. So I got just some, this is cool. I didn't get myself one of these. I should have. It's a finger painting brush. Finger painting brush. You put this on your finger. This end, I don't want to open the packaging, but you put it on your finger and you've got this brush and you're like, oh, yeah. Back to kindergarten with more control, or hopefully more control. And then I got some stickers and some little arty postcards. That one's really cute. But the main part of the prize is this Japanese color paint set, which is I'm not really sure of the brand. We've got paints from this that are the black colors, and I have no idea. I always thought it was Kuretake, but it's not. It's similar paint, And these ones are shadow colour, so I'm assuming rather than being the shades of black, these are sort of a muted, we can see here, a muted grey tones, like tones of grey with a bit of colour, like 50 Shades of Grey, not like 50 Shades of Grey at all, there's 6 shades of grey. And with the pink, yellow, well, shadow pink, shadow yellow, shadow green, shadow blue, shadow purple, and shadow vermilion. And yeah, if I haven't thought of how you enter, so what I think would be the best thing to do, because this is traveling the world, leave a comment below telling me if you could go on and do some art travel somewhere, go somewhere to paint anywhere in the world, what is the country you would go to, what's your travel preference. And I'm going to leave the competition open for a week from today, because so people can watch in the replay. Do you call it a replay on YouTube? I'm not sure, but yeah, when I put this video up for other people to watch, then yeah, I'll give it a week, give people a chance to enter, and one lucky person will get the actual date. That's a good question. A week. Today's the 11th?
I think so.
Oh, I could have a look on my.
Yeah, it is.
It's the 11th. So it'd be 18th, the 18th. Thanks. And for doing easy maths for me, because I'm not brain think today. Good. I'm just playing here now, banging on colour. So, if you're watching, let me know what your favourite materials are in the comments. And please, if you are enjoying me rambling on, make sure you like this video. It really does help. It doesn't just help me, well, it helps me, but it also helps to make sure that you're like training the YouTube algorithm to show you the videos that you want to see. So it's a win-win. And it just takes a second to smash, or whatever the kids are saying nowadays, that like button. And you can also, while you're doing it, if you want to see more content like this, or even content that's competently produced, yeah, subscribe to my channel, and that'll make me really happy. Also, yeah, then you can keep seeing my videos. Wow, these colours have got really muted on the side buildings in this picture now. I don't usually use muted colours, but that horrible sound is me sharpening my pencil. And I'm going to go in for some details. This white pencil is going to need to be a lot sharper than that if I want to get the signs. It's, yeah, looking at the sign, it's something hana. I know that kanji, it's hana, which means flower. Something hana.
Forest?
No, it's not forest. It's, yeah, it's, or maybe it's not. It's really hard to read because they've sort of stylized it into these little, little diamond shapes, so that I just knocked that up. I was thinking ramen needed 5 circles, but it only needs 4. It only needs 4. Well, I studied Japanese for years, and sometimes I wonder what I learnt during that time, because I really struggle when I'm doing signs and things like that. I need a red pencil. I should have one right here. Is that red? Permanent red. Wow. Sometimes I really have trouble seeing the colours on pencils. Especially, yeah, when they don't have the whole body of the pencil. Like the Prismacolor, they have the whole pencil, the colour. But, yeah, these they don't. I need to ask, if you're watching this and you use Prismacolors, please, please, please get in touch and tell me, do your Prismacolors have broken leads? I bought Prismacolors from a few different places now, and every single time the leads are like, I get halfway through using the pencil and the lead's all broken up inside. And it's like, if it was just from one place, I think it was a faulty, like someone had dropped a box of the pencils during shipping or something like that. But I bought them from, yeah, a few different places. Same thing always happens. So I don't know if it's just a Prismacolor thing or whether that could be there. This is a technique, very technical technique of picking paint off with your fingernails. I'm not going to draw the people in this picture because I don't want to really. That is the main reason. And sometimes I draw people in, sometimes I don't. Would have liked to have drawn this guy in, the one standing holding the door of the ramen shop. But I didn't think of that until just now. I guess I could always put him over the top, but I probably won't. And but yeah, I guess it's something you really should think about at the start of your drawing. Okay, let's go in and get those bricks. Just need to concentrate for a minute so I can get the bricks done. I don't know why the bricks take more concentration than anything else, but it's lying there. Drawing this picture is really making me feel like ramen. I wonder if there's anywhere around that is open today that would be selling ramen. There's not many places around here. Like, there's places that sell ramen, but it's not very good. The only place, there's one RG which I think is an international chain. And they have really good ramen, but their other stuff isn't great. So, well, they have good gyoza, but if you buy anything else from there, it's a bit not good. But their ramen is worth it. Get some one of the problems with acrylic gouache, especially if you're using it quite thick, is that you get little lumpy bits. Well, make this, what do you call it? Thing that hangs over the shop? Awning, thanks. And for wording for me, the awning, I've got it a lot bigger than it should be in, like, from the picture. Which is fine, but yeah. I'll go back to this one and have a look. I think I was doing that awning like it is in the side picture, but I'm drawing the building straight on, so oh well. It's not like the ramen shop drawing police are going to come around and arrest me or anything like that. Hopefully. Hopefully. Like, oh, you're under arrest. Do you think the more time you spend sketching, the less you care about things like technical little details, like, oh yeah, put that in the wrong place, oh well. Whereas when you're a beginning sketcher, it's like, no, I've ruined my picture, I put this lamp post in the wrong spot. But then, yeah, you get more experience. It's like, yeah, I'll put this here. Yeah, I'll put this here. Put this wherever. Oh, I might put a kangaroo in the middle of this picture just because I feel like it.
Ooh.
I won't do this one, but yeah, that kind of thing. I yeah, haven't been sketching for that long. I started during lockdown. I think that's the story with a lot of people. I mean, when you're stuck in your house with nothing to do, sketching's a good way to, yeah, good hobby to have. And, you know, when you're not going out spending money, buying art materials, also a good hobby to have. And so, yeah, got addicted. I actually started out when I was a kid, way back when I was a kid. But when I left high school, I went to art school, started doing a visual arts degree, and I hated it. I hated it so much. I had such awful lecturers, and it was just soul destroying. And I dropped out of art school, and I didn't pick up a paintbrush or a pencil. Well, I maybe picked up a pencil, but I didn't do a lot of drawing or anything. Yeah, until 2020 lockdown, and now I'm really back into it. So that was one of the good side effects of the lockdown, I guess, for me. And really, really obviously enjoy doing art. Can get a bit frustrating sometimes, but that's really good too. Before lockdown, for about 5 years before the pandemic, I hate this word so much, but I can't think of another word I can use to describe it. A digital nomad. And that sounds just so incredibly wanky to say. But yeah, so I had no fixed address, spent a lot of time traveling the world, but of course I wasn't into sketching then. And now I just look back and think, oh, I could have had so many great opportunities to go and sketch things, and I didn't make the most of them. But I guess all I can do now is travel again, go back and see those places from a new perspective. I think it's such a great thing to do when you're traveling, because like, you know, you can go somewhere and you can take a photo, you know, you just rush around, take a few photos, you have them on your phone, you rarely look at them again, maybe post them to social media or something, but it's just this, I was here for 30 seconds, snapped a couple of photos, left again. But when you're sketching, you're actually sitting down and spending some time just looking at things, just taking in what's going on. And plus, I don't know, I find I have these really strange interactions with people when I'm sketching. When I was in Tokyo, I kept having like old homeless guys come up and chat to me. They were pretty cool. One of the guys was telling me he used to paint when he was younger, and how he went to art school and all that kind of thing. And yeah, it's just really nice to actually, like, especially in Tokyo, people don't stop and chat that often. It's not not sort of a thing that Japanese people do unless you're out at a bar or something. And so, yeah, being a sitting target as it is, you could say, sitting there like drawing, you do get people coming up and chatting to you. Find though, British people are like, I feel like British people can't see someone drawing without actually talking to them about it. I went to the UK earlier in the year, and everywhere I went, yeah, people would just come over, just look over my shoulder and, you're sketching? Oh, that's really good. There's one woman, oh, she's like, that's good. Oh, that's good. I can't even do the voice. It was such a condescending voice, the sort of voice you would use on like kindergarten student if you didn't like them very much. Kindergarten kid if you didn't like them very much. And then her husband sketches, and she was trying to get him involved in the conversation, and he was just sort of like, yeah, keep me out of this. Oh, it was funny. And I went to the Tower of London. I didn't actually go to the Tower of London. I didn't pay to get in because I'm a cheapskate. But I went, yeah, and to where the Tower of London is, and I was sitting sketching down by the river, sketching Tower Bridge, and I turned around and I had this group of about 20 people standing behind me watching me. That was, yeah, a bit disconcerting, and I thought later I should have passed around the hat and taken up a collection. Like, yeah, I'm street entertainment here, guys. Throw a couple of quid into my hat. Strange, yeah. And then I went went from London to Italy and spent a week there, which was amazing and awesome. And in Italy, no one pays you any. Oh, usually, mostly. I was sitting in a street cafe drawing, and there was a guy, like, it was a busy street, very narrow, busy street, and the guy's in his car, like, backed up from the lights, and he just leans over and says, like, I can't remember, something in Italian. Bellissimo, that was it. Bellissimo. And pointing to my drawing, that was really funny. I didn't think my drawing was particularly bellissimo, but it was kind of cute. But yeah, most of the time. And then we're also like on this year is Singapore. Singapore, I feel like everyone in Singapore sketches. It's just such a big thing in Singapore. So if you're seeing sketching and like, oh, you're an urban sketcher, me too, and start chatting. Seriously, per capita, they probably have the most sketches in the world. I mean, I'm basing that on nothing, but just my own experience. But it did feel that way. I guess they have the weather and everything to go out sketching, but also yeah, it's just a really lovely community of sketchers there. And I have had this, I laugh about it. I've travelled, yeah, a few times this year, and whenever I go anywhere, I join up to the local Urban Sketchers Facebook group in the area so I can see if there's any meetups or anything going on. But I have never once been to the urban sketching meetups for the group in Melbourne where I live. So I've been in London, I've been in Singapore, I've been in Tokyo, but not Melbourne. And the reason I haven't been in Melbourne is often because they're a long way away and I hate travelling. Seriously. People laugh at me when I say that because I spend so much time traveling. I don't mind going overseas, but I just don't like travelling to other parts of Melbourne because the trains here are terrible, the roads are terrible. Yeah, it's just everything's a big bottleneck. It's not pleasant getting around. Trains are always being cancelled or being cancelled or delayed. And yeah, you get some pretty dodgy people on the trains too. You know, I've been sitting on the train while people are making drug deals and that kind of thing. But I guess that happens, and also people laugh at me because I hate flying. I really hate flying. And that, they're like, but you travel all the time. It's like, yeah, I like being places. I just don't like getting there. Especially when I went to Japan, I flew with Australian Airlines Jetstar. and that was, yeah, they are not one of the best airlines in the world. They are, I mean, there's a lot worse airlines like Ryanair in Europe and the UK, but Jetstar are pretty basic. And I got to the airport, like it was an early flight, so I got to the airport. I had to get up about like 3 a.m., which, you know, I don't like doing that. I don't think many people like getting up at 3 a.m. to catch a flight. It's not like, you know, getting up, being out at 3 a.m. partying, which I also wouldn't like nowadays. And yeah, so I got up at 3 a.m., got to the airport. I just wanted to get on that flight and have some more sleep. And my flight was delayed for 3 hours. But, you know, they don't tell you that. They don't say, oh, your flight's going to be delayed for 3 hours. Just go off and have a nice meal or something. There's actually a really good place to eat at Melbourne Airport. And I'll tell you the name of it, but I have no idea.
Movida.
What?
Movida.
Movida, thanks. And Movida, it's, yeah, the people who own it, they have a few restaurants around the city, and they have a restaurant at the airport. And it wasn't open when I went past. If I hadn't known my flight was going to be delayed 3 hours, I would have went back and got some breakfast there. Had a nice leisurely brunch, or breakfast brunch. But instead, I just was sitting at the gate. I actually did some sketching of my fellow passengers, and I've got a video coming up soon where I do a sketchbook flip through, so you can see all that rage art I did when I was at the airport. Poor people, it wasn't their fault my flight was delayed, but they were my victims, the victims of my pencils. And yeah, then I got on the flight. Well, actually, we weren't delayed 3 hours at the airport. We were delayed about 2 hours. We got on the plane, and we were just sitting on the plane for about another hour. There was a woman sitting near me with a baby. The baby just would not be quiet. I felt so sorry for her. Like, you know, it's awful having a crying baby on the plane, but it must also be awful being the parent of the crying baby, because not only do you have to put up with the noise, but you've got so many passengers giving you dirty looks, and sort of, you know, you're feeling bad, you're feeling guilty, and then that's just making the baby get more stressed out. But I had to stop over on the Gold Coast, and the baby left there.
The mother wasn't.
The mother also left with the baby, yes. Thanks for pointing that out. And yeah, it kind of made me wonder, like, why would you book on the domestic leg of an international flight? It's not something I'd want to do. I kind of feel like, you know, you've got all that extra red tape with your flight because it's going international, but, you know, you're only doing the Melbourne to Gold Coast portion of it, so you could have just called a regular flight and it would have been a lot less bother. I don't know, maybe they sell that bit off cheap or something. Maybe they don't tell people. Maybe they just think they're booking a regular flight to the Gold Coast, and then they get on the plane and realise it's an international flight. That would be really nice. Actually, it's Jetstar. I'm sure that's what they do. But yeah, so I flew with Jetstar, and then coming back, I was not wanting to get on the plane. The whole time, every time I thought of flying home, I'm like, I don't want to get back on the Jetstar flight. I don't want to get back on. It's going to be hell. And it wasn't that bad. I mean, we did still have a stopover in the Gold Coast, and the flight was delayed. They told us all to go and line up for boarding, and then we were in the line for boarding. They told us the flight had been delayed, and it's kind of like, why did you do that? You know, we could have been sitting around just having a coffee or something. And, you know, there are people who struggle with standing up in a line for an hour. People being me. Yeah, and, you know, you're in the line, you're holding your carry-on bag. You've got that over your arm or whatever. And it's, yeah, just really,
Rude.
it's rude and it's really screwing up your body. Well, it screws up my body. I'm getting old now. Standing for an hour is not my favourite thing in the world. But, you know, I have this thing because Jetstar does cheap flights to Tokyo from Australia. So every time I fly with them, I'm never flying with them again. It's the last time. They're the worst airline in the world. And then, like, you know, 6 months later, they've got this really dirt cheap flight to Tokyo. I'm like, oh, yeah, they're not that bad. They're not that bad. But, yeah. I mean, in the end, it is a pretty short flight. People always laugh at Australians. Like, it's only 10 hours. It's only 10 hours. Oh, it's a pretty short flight. And I guess it's better. Oh, to me, I prefer to spend less money on my flight and have more money to spend when I arrive. Like, you know, it could be, say, $500 difference between getting the cheap flight or getting one with a real airline. So, you know, that's an awful lot of acrylic gouache that you could buy in Tokyo. Like those huge tubes, the larger size tubes of acrylic gouache, $10. So $500, that's like 50 tubes of paint. Makes the budget flight seem a lot better when you put it in those terms. I think I'm nearly finished this picture. Wow, I've been talking for an hour. Who would have thought that I could talk for an hour? Who would have thought? So yeah, I might wrap it up there. Once again, don't forget about the giveaway. If you're watching this between now and the 18th of December, leave a comment in the comment section below letting me know where your dream sketching travel destination is, and like and subscribe if you feel like it. Yeah, I was getting a bit bossy there. Like and subscribe or else. No, but yeah, if you want to see more of this content, like and subscribe, hit those buttons like every YouTuber tells you to. And hopefully, maybe not before Christmas, but in the new year, there'll be more live streams coming from me. And that's a wrap. Yo. See you soon. I don't know how to turn off the live stream. Ha. Let's put that. Haha. Hope the sound come out on that.